wave at them from either the Mediterranean or the Atlantic, and they have the cooling influence of the Pyrenees. I just think they're making amazing wines thanks to that sunny climate, and I'm sorry that French winemakers aren't having a great time, but it does mean there's some amazing value in the Languedoc at the moment. So I'm happy to give them a good order, happy to support them, and I'm happy to benefit from it being a complete bargain as well. Cheers! So Pinot Noir from Carmel Road. Pinot Noir is one of those great varieties that tends to be quite expensive because it's difficult to manage. All sorts of problems occur with it, but I would say if you're looking for a great value Pinot Noir, one of the best places you can find is actually from Romania at the moment. So if you're in Sainsbury's, their Sainsbury's House non-vintage Pinot Noir is actually from Romania. Waitrose have a Romanian Pinot Noir, and I think if we can pour the final red, have they got the final red as well? I think if they haven't, we need to. They've already drunk it. Brilliant. The final red we're going to be talking about is a place close to my heart. It comes from Portugal, from the Douro Valley, and it's called Cruiseshow, which I love. It actually comes from the Roman word, the Latin word meaning castrum, which means a fort. And the theory is that this is on the northern bank of the Douro River, just sort of between Pinau and Requegua, and it's. They think it's an old fort, an old Roman settlement. So Cruiseshow is one of my favourites on the Glasshouse wine list, and the reason I love it is because I think it's fulsome, it's deep, it's plump. If you compare it in colour to the Pinot Noir, you'll see that it's much richer. You'll also see that it has this incredible purple colour about it, and that denotes youth. So again, if you see that kind of colour, youth, and you'll find that although you can see a bit of your hand, it's slightly darker, slightly more opaque than the Pinot Noir. Cruiseshow is one of the wines that I think has really trailblazed modern Portuguese winemaking. Now, if I say Portuguese winemaking to you, I think most of you would probably think, well, port is massive, and I love port, and I drank quite a lot of port this Christmas. It's brilliant. However, we tend to only drink it with our Christmas cake or with our Christmas pudding or with our Stilton. Not a lot of us drink port on the beach in the summer. This wine is one of the answers to that problem that the Portuguese face. They decided to make a still red wine out of port grapes. So the grapes in this blend are local grape varieties: Touriga Francesa, Tinta Barroca, Tinta Roriz, which is Aragonese, which is actually Tempranillo. So if you like Rioja, you'll probably like this wine. And there's another one. I'll get it right, I'll think about it. Oh, Touriga Nacional. And Touriga Nacional gives fragrance and scented character, and the other ones are quite herby and earthy and rich. So if you give this one a swirl and a sniff, oh man, hard to resist. I love it for its fragrance, a bit more fulsome. You'll find it coats your mouth a little bit as well, and that's coming from tannin. And all tannin is the fibres in the grape skins. So you remember the colour comes from the grape skins. The longer you leave the wine on the skins, the deeper the colour. So if I'm making rosé, in for a little while, a couple of hours, off with the skins, away we go. If I'm making a red wine, I'll leave it in there for much longer. And I'll press the skins as well, and I'll take the pressed wine and I'll blend it with the free run wine. But this particular wine has a bit of that drying character. So when you taste a wine like this, just remember, with food. So you need to be thinking about roast lamb, a nice bit of hard cheese, a bit of cheddar would be absolutely glorious. Those kinds of foods are chunky. And with texture in wine and food, try and balance them. So the richer the food, the richer the wine. And you'll find that it unlocks a sweetness in the wine. It's all to do with polymers and proteins, which is all a bit boring and scientific. But actually the effect of a protein in your food has the effect of softening the texture and sweetening the flavour at the same time. So for me, Cruiseshow and lamb chops on a Thursday night, brilliant. And you can buy this one in Majestic if you would like to. And it is currently on offer, so do that. It's well worth it. I think I've just got time to finish off. We've got about 5 minutes to go, but I just wanted to finish off by, first of all, saying thank you to you all for coming today, and I hope you have a brilliant time at the show. There's some amazing cruises on offer. My grandparents actually got me into cruising. My granny is still going, amazing person. She's in her 90s. She gave me actually at Christmas this year a little calendar, a little solid steel calendar that she basically stole in 1936 from RMS Strathern when she was a girl, and it's on P&O Cruises. It was a P&O Cruises liner. I'm sure she was allowed to nick it actually, I'm sure they encouraged it, but it means a lot to me that my family have kind of got this connection going back all this time. She's a vicar actually, and she married my wife and I, and when she did her sermon about marriage, she talked about cruising. She said it's a bit like, getting married, it's a bit like a cruise. You kind of get on board and you know vaguely where you're heading, but you really don't know how it's going to turn out or who you're going to meet. And I thought, that's a really good way of looking at it, actually. So cruising for me obviously has a very special place in my heart, and Mum and Dad going today, obviously. But the one thing I really want you to take away from this tasting today is that some wines you will have liked more than others, and really you listen to your own palate. I love all these wines, but I'm a wine, what's the word, pervert, I suppose, for want of a better word. I love this stuff. But it's up to you to decide which wines you love the best. So that's really what the Glass House is all about. These 4 points of the compass, unoaked white, oaked white, light red, rich red, that should give you an indication